So we're doing a general discussion on what happened after the video that I just made. Because gdboss has seen it, DGM has seen it. It's been seen. It's known. So we're gonna talk about it. But real quick, I just need to make a housekeeping thing to talk about what happened before the previous video. Things I got wrong, things that I forgot to mention, stuff like that. So we're gonna so the first maybe quarter, third, I don't know, of this video will be dedicated to talking about the things that I messed up and or forgot. So number one, gdboss, the reason that, the thing that gdboss used to tell his fans to go attack DGM was telling his fans that he would give them a Nintendo Switch if they did it. Now obviously this is ridiculous. He does not have over 300 Nintendo Switches to give away. And even if it was a joke, regardless if it was or not, having a younger fan base like that, there's a good chance that they'll believe that and go and, attack people. Now again, everything I'm saying is before this, so regardless if gdboss retracts these statements or not, or whatever, is irrelevant. This is just me saying things that happened in the past. These happened a while ago. This happened at the start of the whole thing, and I just forgot to mention it last time. There's a screen cap that shows that statement in the previous video, but I never mentioned it directly. Another thing from the previous video that I forgot to mention is I forgot to include a particular screen cap and instead reused the Oreo screen cap a second time. That screen cap was used twice by accident. The actual thing was the actual screen cap I was going to use is this one. And it should have been included at about 3 minutes, 40-something seconds into the video. There's a comment that's pinned in the comment section telling the exact time if you're curious. And that screen cap was supposed to go there. Another thing that I need to mention is I actually have the comments that Oreo left on DGM's video, and they are here. These needed to be included last time, but they were deleted. DGM has now sent me the comments that were deleted, so now you can see those. And I'm pretty sure that's it for housekeeping and stuff I got wrong last time and or left out. One more thing, actually. So the thing regarding the OC stealing thing, that was misunderstood. That was misunderstood. gdboss never claimed that Pitch Darkness was his own character. It even says remake right next to Pitch Darkness's name, which implies that it's a remake of DGM's OC. But I don't really feel like it's my fault that I misunderstood that. gdboss's English is not great, and it's in a video showing off new OCs. Not only that, but why would you redraw someone else's OC if, you're having beef with that person, unless you're claiming it as your own. So even though I do indeed believe that he wasn't trying to steal someone's OC, it was not my fault that was misunderstood. And I don't feel like it's anyone's fault that it would be misunderstood like that, because everything points to the opposite fact being the case. gdboss pointed this out in the comment section of the previous video, and I do apologize for getting that wrong, but I do not feel like it is my fault that I got that fact wrong. That is everything that I needed to bring up for housekeeping, and the rest of this video will be focused on how gdboss Gamers fans found the video, how gdboss himself responded to the video, how basically the whole community responded to the video, and any new developments that have happened since. In regards to the new stuff that has happened, it's been interesting. I'm gonna start from the least interesting to the most interesting. And obviously the least interesting thing would be how DGM reacted and how the overall community reacted. By overall community, I don't mean gdboss's community. We'll talk about that later because that's very interesting. But DGM, obviously, I feel like it's pretty evident how DGM would have reacted. The video is on his side. I don't really think I need to say anything about that otherwise, but I know people would be curious who didn't read the comments, I guess. But whatever, there it is. I don't need to explain that. The overall FF community, however, were all supportive, and it's pretty evident why. gdboss spamming comments on videos that have nothing to do with DGM or the situation in general it's pretty evident why the rest of the community would be supportive. It's kind of annoying. It doesn't really harm them as they're not being attacked, but they do have to see that, and they do have to put up with it. So yeah, it makes sense why they would be on this side. Also, it's just very condemnable what gdboss is doing, so whatever. Now, on to how gdboss himself reacted, which is interesting, to say the least. It's not at all what I expected, but it happened. So, weirdly enough, he's claiming to stop bullying DGM. So, that's neat. Number one, he acknowledges that it's bullying, so that's cool. Number two, he's apparently stopping said act. And number three, you know, he's telling other people to stop doing this as well, and it's interesting. But I'm going to break down a few things that are a bit iffy. Number one is this screen cap. Now, in that screen cap, he's saying he's reporting a video. It's either the person he's replying to, which wouldn't make sense because that video has nothing to do with anything. It's either his own video, which that's also dumb. I guarantee he's not referring to that. And the third option is he's going to report my video. I'll let you make your own conclusions on what he's going to do, or what he's already done, but I'll say nothing further because it's purely speculative. Not speculative, speculatory, because, you know, he didn't say what video he's reporting. I feel like you can draw your own conclusions, however. The next thing is what he said in his response video as well. The response video, I'm going to post some screen caps. His responses overall seem very forced. Like, they're not genuine. Like, he doesn't it seems like he doesn't really understand what the issue was. It just seems like he's stopping so he doesn't get the flood. Like, the seriously aspect, the fact that he calls me a no one, both of those feel like, you know, that he does not respect the video, he does not respect me, and most importantly, he doesn't really respect the argument itself. And that's, you know, kind of an issue. Now, again, this is purely speculation because gdboss's English is not the best. So, you can take it however you will. I'm taking it the way that I think is most logical and basically passive-aggressive. It's very passive-aggressive, his response was, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. Now, what he told his fans to do is he said himself that he would stop bullying DGM. And Oreo, the person whose screen cap comments were deleted last time and I had to show that screen cap earlier, showing their actual comments, he's told them to stop doing this. I'm going to put up the picture. And the interesting thing is he says that it's DGM's fault and my fault that he's doing this. Not that Oreo's doing that. No, that gdboss is telling Oreo to stop. It's Mecha's fault that gdboss has to tell Oreo to stop. So I'm pretty certain that confirms my argument that gdboss doesn't really respect the argument I made in the previous video. I feel like it basically confirms that gdboss doesn't really care about changing and is only doing this so he doesn't get flack for it. Because I don't know if you noticed, but that previous video is the highest performing video I've ever done. This isn't bragging. This is me showing why he wouldn't, you know, contest the argument. That video got almost 100 views. Literally, it's sitting at 99 right now. Last time I looked, sitting at 14 likes. Both of those are very high numbers for this channel. And the comments, except for his, I guess, some of his were fine, but he left like 5. But the comments were all positive, not to mention the GD change thing at the end, showing all the other people's reactions. I'm not showing screen caps of any of this because it's all public information. Literally the next video down from my channel, you could look at that and draw your own conclusions from that. But yeah, considering the overwhelming support that was present there, the fact that the opposer, I guess, the opposition is the best word, DGM, also supported it and shared the link on his channel. All of that, and also other big people in the community commenting on the video with support. People in at the end of the video were big people in the community showing support. People commenting on gdboss's videos showing support for my video. So, and the argument in general. So it's pretty, you know, pretty likely, considering how passive-aggressive gdboss was to my response, and the fact that he's saying it's my fault he had to tell Oreo to stop spamming DGM's comment sections and stuff, it feels like he doesn't really care about the changing thing. It feels like he doesn't want to, and it feels like the only reason he's doing that in the first place is so he doesn't get flack for it. And obviously, that's a very incorrect reason to change. But you could make the argument, I guess, you could make this argument that it doesn't really matter why you do something as long as the, outcome is positive. And I could agree with that, actually. It doesn't really matter why gdboss Gamer isn't doing the thing that he's doing anymore, as long as he's not doing it anymore. Because the act itself is the problem, not the reason you're doing the act. The reason you're doing the act is irrelevant in this scenario, especially considering it's something as petty as being blocked on YouTube. Now, if it was something bigger, sure, maybe this would have, been more acceptable and tolerable, but no, it was just being blocked on YouTube, and the harassment thing happened. So, in all honesty, the reason is irrelevant as long as the act itself is fine. And I suppose that gdboss Gamer not harassing people anymore is positive regardless of why he's not harassing people anymore. So it doesn't really matter, I guess. Some people would make that argument. I'm not going to make that argument because it's still fake. It's still a really, really fake public image thing. So whatever. I'm saying what I think right now. It's, again, purely speculation because English bad, whatever, you get it. But I'm saying this now because I feel like I'm correct, and I feel like it's the obvious conclusion to draw. Now, time to get into the interesting thing, which is the gdboss's community reaction. Not gdboss himself. That was very interesting in the sense that it's not what I expected, and I guarantee it's not what you expected. But the community's reaction is very interesting because, gdboss told them to stop and stuff. So how would they react to that? None of them have commented about bullying DGM on his response video. None of them have commented about that on his video itself. None of them have accepted that it was bullying on that video. If you go to the comments, it's nothing about that. None of the comments are that except for the comment DGM himself left. So none of them left any comments on that video acknowledging that gdboss is in the wrong, or they were in the wrong, or anything like that. The only comments on that video, honest to God, have nothing to do with the video itself, except for DGM's comment, I guess. But, yeah, again, last time I remember checking. Some of this information has changed. I haven't looked back in a little bit, in a few hours or whatever, because, I've been preparing this video and getting all of the things I need to say in it ready. So, yeah. Now, Oreo, the guy whose comments got deleted and or blocked, it doesn't matter in all honesty, had an argument with gdboss Gamer and stuff. You've already seen the screen cap of that. I'm not showing it again. But basically, gdboss Gamer and Oreo argued about why Oreo should stop doing that. Again, it was quoted as being my and DGM's fault, which is stupid. You're the one who caused this by friggin' telling your fans to spam someone else's comment section, but whatever. Yeah. So gdboss is losing his fan support in that scenario, and they're still going to keep doing what they were doing, which is hilarious, that they're going to keep doing it without him. I actually said this on Discord, posted the screen cap, that they would continue working without gdboss. I predicted that, and it was correct, that some of them would continue doing the whole harassment thing, regardless if gdboss was heading the thing or not. And it's kind of funny. Now, regarding DGM fan is melting, and what he goes by now is fake DGM gdboss fan, I think. Fake DGM gdboss Gamer fan, I think is his name. It's something really long. I'm not gonna post it up here, but whatever, you can find the video is the point. I posted the screen cap of it is in the previous video, whatever. There's no link to it because why would I post a link to a stolen video? But anyway, the point is, fake DGM is what I'm going to refer to him as for simplicity's sake. The guy who re-uploaded the Claws of Steel trailer. I got one thing incorrect in the previous video, and I said that was the only video that he re-uploaded, which is untrue. He's re-uploaded 2 at this point. He also re-uploaded the Chaos Minion run animation thing, which that doesn't really matter. But gdboss Gamer is now going into the comments section of the fake DGM guy. Not only his comments on Quack's video, but his own videos. I find it's hilarious that he's replying to the videos on Quack's, comments on Quack's video, telling fake DGM that IP theft, posting people's IP addresses and threatening them with it is blackmail. So, good job me, I guess. And posting it on the friggin', on his channel over and over again on multiple videos, which is hilarious. And by multiple, I mean like 2, but still, it's hysterical in all honesty. But like, fake DGM has said nothing, has done nothing. I've not heard from him in any sense. He's done literally nothing since the video went up, which is interesting. That's making me think a couple things. Like, it's either he's not going to respond and he's just abandoned the channel because of the backlash, and the alternative, which is funny, the alternative is that it's a gdboss gamer alternate channel, and gdboss pretended to be DGM. I mean, not DGM, pretended to be fake DGM, which is interesting. That's a theory. I don't think it's true personally, but there's some credence behind it, considering the kind of videos gdboss uploads on his channel and the videos fake DGM upload are very similar, in fact. There's some credence to this theory. Other people have pointed out. I don't know if it's true, and I don't think that it's true, but it's possible is the point. Now, I'm going to have a little closing argument thing and just explain what happened briefly. gdboss agreed to stop bullying DGM in a very passive-aggressive way towards me. His fan base has kind of split on the whole thing. Some of them still attack DGM, some of them still support gdboss gamer or whatever. Fake DGM, or DGM is melting, whichever name you want to go by, has not done anything since the video went up. And that's about it. The overall community support towards the video was positive, I suppose, because there's no real negative comments on the previous video. I feel like this video is gonna be a lot less well received, in all honesty, because this is a lot more scattered, right? With the previous video, there were a lot of like points you could make. There was a lot of obvious information, right? This video is way more just full of speculation because it's so strange what happened. It's a very interesting response, in all honesty. I don't really know what's going to happen next, is what I'm trying to say. It's a very interesting situation because there are so many different sides at this point now. Like, there's basically 50% is the side that, doesn't like gdboss gamer and, thinks that what he did was wrong. And the other 50% is just split into many different categories of just, harassment towards DGM, harassment towards gdboss gamer in some cases, in all honesty, and just all kinds of weird chaotic stuff. So if I get anything wrong in this video, I do apologize. It's pretty likely that I got something wrong at some point in this video, and I'll look into things more if I ever do a part 3, which is very possible at this point, because things are still developing. It's an interesting story, is what I'm trying to say. There's not a lot of concrete stuff this time around, where the previous video, everything was, easy to tell, easy to explain. Everything this time around is scattershot everywhere. There's not like concise anything. The only concise thing is the people who don't like gdboss gamer liked the video. That's it. That doesn't mean anything, because of course the people who don't like gdboss gamer are going to like the video condemning what he did. So that's irrelevant, in all honesty. Well, it's not irrelevant. It's just pointless to state that because it's obvious. This video is going to be put together less well than the previous one because, again, I just have to get all of this out, and there's no real way to flow from one thing to another. I'm really bad at that as is, and flowing from one concept to a completely opposing one just is not a thing you can do in a situation where there's like 17 different things happening on gdboss gamer's side, and it just doesn't make sense, in all honesty. It's very chaotic. It's absurd and all. The point is nothing makes sense, is what I'm trying to say. Don't be surprised if I make a follow-up video stating that a majority of the stuff I believe in this video is incorrect. Also, don't be surprised if I make a follow-up saying everything in this video was right. It could go either way. It's very weird what happened. Literally anything can happen next. I could be completely right. I could be completely wrong. I could be anywhere in between. This is just a very interesting scenario. It's not as cut and dry as the last video. It's way more interesting this time around.